playing
Holy-
Civilization as a
Oh.
series.
Still.
That is
What the fuck?
208 days.
Are you okay?
This is the other game I mentioned before when I was just like
Blink twice if you need help.
late night at college. I'd just be like, I should go to sleep. Now let's play Civilization for an hour or two.
Welcome back again, everyone. It's Fawn Pod Summer Sizzlin Spectacular. We're counting on our favorite video games of all time. That's right, all time, ladies and gents. So far, we've gotten you through games 25 through 11, which means, can this be? We're starting the top 10 today.
Sure.
My God, what could be in our top 10? We will find out shortly. Anything new from the hosts out there? Any little plugs of yay-yays you guys are doing out there?
No, let's just do this.
Yeah, the less said
right
about
in.
excellent said about my life
Season
recently,
2,
the better.
watch it.
All right. I only recently have gotten into watching guys on webcams with bomb pops, but that is a whole...
What are they doing with the bomb pops, Cody?
As one does.
Shame.
He got past the red and the white in one bite, though, I'll tell you that. All right, anyway, let's kick it off then with the man of the hour, the Tower of Power to sweep power himself. Matt,
right.
you're up first for our number 10 game.
Matt,
Go,
plug your
buddy.
OnlyFans before you begin.
What's that?
Plug your OnlyFans before you begin.
Plug my hands?
Your OnlyFans. Forget it.
Oh.
You ruined my joke, you asshole.
It's at Matt. It's at Matt's mouth. And OnlyFans.
At the bomb pop guy.
So I got to open my little list. Oh, yes, of course. Well, so we'll start off with a trope namer. And again, this could be several of any games that came after this in the series, whatever. But I'm going to have to go with the first one, even though it might not necessarily be my favorite of this particular series. It shaped everything, so I got to go with Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Fuck yes.
Or you could pick your favorite on a countdown of your 25 favorite
No,
games.
I can't pick a favorite of them. They're all the games that are up
You
there.
literally
just said it was not
it's
your
not my
favorite.
favorite.
I don't have a favorite. That's the problem. So I picked the one
Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. Let's go.
that is not.
Castlevania 64. Let's move on.
That's not post Symphony of the Night. Well,
Symphony
I
of the
agree.
Night
It has
is the
that.
best one.
It's up there.
I mean,
Hudson loves Metroidvania games, and this put the Vania in that genre.
it
Let's
did
go.
exactly. So, I mean, there's lots of mechanics that come back later, like the Soul System and the Aria and Dawn of Sorrow games that I really like. You know, I miss that, and Symphony of the Night. But Symphony of the Night it's so expansive. It's
You guys,
so fun to explore. It's just a great game.
Alucard
Fantastic
is
music.
Dracula backwards.
Matt, you've made me realize I don't have any Metroidvanias in my top 25, which is crazy because I love that
Wow.
genre.
I don't even like
got
that
like
genre,
5
and
more
I
to
had
go.
one in my list.
There may not be one on mine, but we'll see.
I've got a couple in the honorable mentions, including Symphony of the Night, but oh well.
Okay, on to me. My number 10 game is my 10th system represented in my
Ooh.
countdown here, and it is the one I pseudo hinted towards a little bit, at least what I was doing to you guys, where I plugged an old system into a TV the other day to check how much I really loved this game. And it's fantastic, you guys. It's almost perfect. This is for the Super Nintendo. Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. It's so good, you guys. This is everything I want. Baseball's still my favorite sport, and this is everything I want. I just want this game remade year after year after year with new rosters, new players, update all the graphics, the teams, the stadiums, but I want it to look like an arcade. If you haven't played this game before, and you're not a baseball fan, baseball has 9 innings. In this game, each half of the inning takes exactly 1 minute to play, which means you can play a full baseball game in 18 minutes every single time, which is
Wow.
fantastic. It's fantastic. Game was famous because it was Ken Griffey Jr., so it didn't have the player association license, so he's the only named player in the game. All of the rest of the teams have like some weird theme, like all Hollywood actors of the 30s, or these are like magicians, or these are whatever.
Can of corn.
Yeah, can of corn. It's fantastic. I did just check. I did start a season on this as the whatever the hell this is, 92, 91 Boston Red Sox, and turns out my season from COVID apparently died. The battery shit out on me while between now and then, so unfortunately it's gone. But this is all I want is just this game remade every year, and I have never found it quite in this form since then, unfortunately. But
Well, what about Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest for the
also
N64?
very good. Also
a great
very
one.
good.
You and I played that a shitload when we
Yeah.
lived together.
That's a good one too.
Cody, that sounds like a new indie game that's just dying to be made.
Look
Ken
for it,
Griffey
bro.
the Third's baseball.
That's all I need.
You have to legally distinct, so it'd be like Kern Griffey's the
Kern
third.
Griffey.
Kern Griffey.
Burn Griffies.
What if 3 outs don't occur in 30 seconds?
Yeah, or it's a minute, but yeah, what happens?
It'll work itself out. It always does. It's weird.
What?
Like if one inning goes a minute 10, then another inning probably goes 50 seconds. Like it's
Oh, so it's just a
You
quick
guys,
game.
what happened
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
2-minute
yeah.
time limit? Let's go.
it's not timed. It's not timed. All right.
Joe's
Yeah,
cranky
sorry,
already,
I
you
gotta
guys.
ask.
Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. Let's
Kern
go to
Griffey.
Dan.
All right,
Kern Griffey
let's
Jr.
crank. Let's crank. So number 10 for me is a game I have very recently played. I put it on the list. I kept like seeing if it was standing up to some of the other games, but it is. So it's Ghost of Tsushima. And putting it on the list made me realize that I have been playing it so long because I don't want it to end. It is that picturesque. Brett, you've been talking about open world games. This is open world in feudal Japan. You're a samurai, and you just get to go wherever you want, and your sword takes whatever lives you want. From the stealth elements all the way into the combat styles, into the RPG elements, into the I don't know how many times it just stopped walking around the world and just been like, God damn, this is gorgeous. It is a fantastic game, well done, very layered, and I honestly I don't want it to end. So I don't know how long I'm going to be playing this thing.
Wow. All right. My number 10 is the first of 3 games in my top 10 from the year 2025.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was just an absolute banger of a year for
Wow.
games. Like one of the best years we've ever seen, in all honesty. And starting out small.
Who will be the judge? What do you got?
This is it's an RPG / horror game called Look Outside. It is probably the least known of the 3 that are in my top 10, but basically you're just an average guy in his apartment, wakes up one day and all hell has broken loose, or rather something has come out of the sky. You wake up, your neighbor is like peering at you through a hole in the wall and asks if you've looked outside, and they say, well, maybe you should. No, wait, no, I only took a glance and I'm already feeling strange. So basically something is moving through the solar system. It's supposed to pass in like 14 days, but anyone who looks outside, anyone who sees a picture of what is outside, anyone who sees a rendering, a drawing, anything about this thing that is passing through our section of space is in for a bad time. That's all I'm going to say. You can choose to spend those 14 days pretty much however you want. You can try to just ignore it, stay holed up in your apartment, and try to not worry about the horrible noises that are coming, from out in the hall or from next door. You can go out and explore. You can try to find out what's happened to your neighbors. You can try to get to the bottom of what's going on and maybe fix it, but it is pretty much up to you. There is some randomization, like you will occasionally hear knocks on your door. Who shows up is random, but otherwise you can go and explore the apartment building and just try to spend those 2 weeks however you want. And it is hard to really explain just how good this game is, because if you look at it, it looks like it's something that was just made in RPG Maker until you get to like the battle scenes, and the sprite work in this is incredible. Like just some of the most grotesque 8-bit looking monsters I have ever seen. It was made by one guy, so he just really knocked it out of the park in terms of like visual design and atmosphere, and just the sense that you never quite know what is going to happen from one day to the next. And I think it's only on PC, but if you are using your computer right now to be on this Zoom call, you can run this. It would run on a potato practically, and it is highly, highly recommended if you like RPGs, if you like horror games, if you like just sheer what the fuckery. It's an incredible game, very underrated, and has a lot of replay value depending on how you approach those 2 weeks worth of time. It's just good, and not enough people are talking about it. So my number 10 is Look Outside for PC.
Nice.
My number 10 game is appropriately rated because it is widely considered to be one of the best video games of all time. It is also widely considered to be one of the best horror games of all time, which now that I think about it, it's kind of weird that I have no less than 2 horror games on my top games of all time list because I am a notorious wuss. But this game in particular is Silent Hill 2.
Oh, fuck.
I actually remember playing through this game by myself in my dorm room in West Hall at NMU.
Ooh.
And I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I am an angsty, sad emo boy. And Jesus Christ, did this game speak to me. I too have murdered my wife. I mean, no, not that. No, I mean, this is, I think, one of the earliest games I can remember playing that just really hit me hard on an emotional level. It's super atmospheric, it's terrifying, but it's just incredibly compelling. The story goes places that really pack an emotional wallop. It introduced the world to Pyramid Head.
For better or worse.
I think it is deserving of the praise that it received, and it, like Resident Evil 4, it actually received a remake in recent years, which I also have not gotten around to playing, mostly because I'm a wuss, but I will probably do that sometime.
Joe, you can call yourself a wuss, but my buddy and I who played that in college, we were playing for a while. We noped out of it. We said, all right, fuck this. And we took the disc out of the PlayStation intentionally so that it did not turn itself on in the middle of the night and scare the fuck out of us. So
that's amazing.
There are levels of wisdom you have not yet descended to.
I'll take it.
All right, my number 10 game is called A Monster's Expedition Through Puzzling Exhibitions. This is a puzzle game that, I'm getting a lot of confused looks. It's available on mobile, it's available on PC, it's available on PlayStation. It is a puzzle game with a very simple premise that you are walking from island to island. On every island, there are trees that you can push down and then roll the logs in order to make bridges to the next island. They take that basic premise and make a really, really fun, really replayable puzzle game out of it. And for some reason, I just come back to this game over and over again. This is a game that I play like at least once a year, probably twice a year. I just put on some music and I just zen my way through this game. I don't think I'll ever 100% beat it because you can beat it, but there are extra challenging islands to get to that have snowmen, and that's like the extra challenges to collect all the snowmen. And I'm terrible at it, and I don't want to like look up how to do it. I just want to keep playing this game forever. So I don't know why this just scratches the exact right puzzle game itch for me, but I just listen to good music. I play this game, and I love it so much that I'm putting it in my top 10.
Wow. I'd have never heard of this game.
Mm-mm. Cool. It's interesting. I'll check that out. Last episode, I talked about the oldest game on my list. And right now, I'm talking about the newest release on my list. I wasn't actually sure where to put it because it's so new, but it is Arc Raiders. And I have been fully invested in this game since its release in October. The only other games that I've been playing since then are on the Switch in the evenings, and only because if I leave my wife on the couch and go play my PC, she'd be pissed off at me. Because what I'd rather prefer be doing is playing Arc Raiders on my computer than playing the games on the Switch. Uh, but it like it's the first extraction shooter that I played, but I had been intrigued by the idea of it for a while and watching like Escape from Tarkov a little bit and thinking, wow, I should buy that. But it's like that game's too intense. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. But Arc Raiders just hits like a really nice sweet spot where it's like you can get into it, but it still has a lot of that uh the same feelings. A lot to be honest, like they get from like survival games where you're kind of like starting from nothing and you're going and getting resources that you can build up and be something to be reckoned with. Um, but this game has like what's really a big part of it is the social layer where you're in a map with other real players and they're doing the same thing as you. They're going and fighting all these mechanical arcs, and they're trying to get the same reads as you are at most of the time. And sometimes these other players aren't friendly. And that's what really kind of makes this game special is that you don't know if you're going to run into somebody who's going to be like, yeah, man, let's fight this thing together. Oh, you need that? I saw one of those over across the corner over there. Or that person's just going to shoot you dead right there on the spot without saying a word. Um, it overall, I've met way more nice, friendly players in this game than assholes, but uh, it it has really kind of captured my imagination here. And it, uh, while I have kind of been like maybe slowing on my in my love for this game a little bit now after 10 months later, I don't think there's anything I'm going to be playing anytime in the near future. So for me, I put it here at number 10 on my list.
Nice. All right, number 9, back to Matt.
All right. So in the late 90s late 90s. No, late 80s. Sorry.
Dave's
Oh,
Basement.
very different.
Very different, very different. There, and this is not the game I'm picking, but it's an intro a little bit. There was an SRPG, which was a port of a computer game that I really liked playing, called Ultima Exodus. Now, an interesting thing about this was it pissed off a lot of parents groups because of the fact that it had like a demon on the cover. That was more the PC. It had like this big demon looking thing on the cover. And anyway, so like the creator, Richard Garriott, decided that his next game would be a little bit more pure, I guess, and came up with one of the most intriguing concepts to an RPG I have ever seen. And I don't think anything has ever done it quite since that, like it again, and that is Ultima 4 Quest of the Avatar, in which the entire purpose of the game is to be an example of a good person to the world. Like, so there's like eight virtues, and you have to master them all before you can do the final goal. I've never actually beaten the thing, but I found the game so intriguing that it had to be upon this list. But it's honor, honesty, justice, spirituality, humility, sacrifice, compassion, and valor are the 8 virtues. And if you master them all, you become the Avatar, which apparently might have been the first utterance of that particular word meaning that. So hey, so yes, Ultima 4, Quest of the Avatar. Picture on the box even has a guy holding like it looks like Jesus on the cover.
Oh,
There you go.
Yeah, you literally get like look at the picture, look at the cover of that game for the Apple II, and you'll be like, yeah, that's an picture.
is he holding a bomb pop?
No, he is.
If you need
I
someone
want
to hold
another
your
one. I
bomb
gotta go
pop.
all the way out to the freezer in my garage. So
Oh,
if I
well,
disappear and come back with a bomb pop, then you'll understand.
there you go. You got time. I'm up next. Number 9. My gosh, you guys. All great games have some common elements. They're repetitive. Bad things happen as you play. People you're dealing with in the game completely suck. You have to deal with taxes nonstop. This is SimCity for the Super Nintendo, everybody.
Oh my
And it
God.
is fantastic. Oh my gosh. We've already covered, I think, in multiple different challenges and podcasts and countdowns and things we've done, how great the music in this game is. Um, it's just fun. It's just like, proto Minecraft, if you will. It's a giant box of Legos somebody throws on the ground and says, just fucking build something and see what you can do with it. And it's super fun. And the Super Nintendo version had at least a couple. I know I like the Mario statue and a couple other buildings that might have been possibly unique to the Super Nintendo version. I also know PC gamers are kind of shaking their head at me being like the Super Nintendo version. That's the one you're going with, but I loved it. It was fantastic. It was always fun to see how far I could get because I legitimately always played the game fairly, and by that I mean I never did. I always did the $1 million cheat code to see how big of a city I could get. And to this day, I have somehow still never managed to build a megalopolis of 500,000
And if
people.
we can't do it with the
I
money
don't
code,
know
I
how.
couldn't either. I don't know how the hell you could ever do it without.
There's millions of pictures of people online that can do it, but I've never been able to. So it's a game that I'll come back to yet again, I'm sure, at some point. But I love
It's
it
all
still.
photoshopped.
SimCity, Super Nintendo. That's my number 9.
Excellent. All right. Well, my number 9, I can't think of a good transition into it, is a little game starring someone named Snake Plissken. So this is Metal Gear
Yeah.
Solid 2, Sons of Liberty.
Both
This
enjoy
is this
geometric
was
box shapes.
yes. You got it. So this is my introduction to the series. Played it on Xbox, the specific version, and the amount of kind of controls and like the interactivity you had in terms of like being able to hold up an enemy soldier and knock them out or hold them up with like a fake gun. The multiple levels to that. The boss designs in terms of the boss fights and also the many twists and turns that story took. I sunk way too many hours in college. I could probably point to grades that dipped because of this game and the number of hours I put into it. And it was a solid part of my upbringing in terms of here's a game I can really like rehearse and get like muscle memory around and do excellent in, and then it amounted to really nothing other than me being able to be good at other games like it.
Nice. All right. My number 9, and I know there was some speculation as to whether I would ever have a Nintendo title on my list, and yes, I do.
My
My number
God.
9, my number 9 is Chrono Trigger. I probably don't need to say anything else besides that, but I will just in case there's someone listening who's not familiar. Chrono Trigger is a time traveling JRPG where you're basically trying to save the world from a lot of things, but also but primarily from a being that has that fallen from the sky in ages past, embedded itself in Earth's core, and might be about to awaken. And you, like I said, travel through time. You assemble a cast of quirky and very diverse characters, from a robot to like a frog guy to a cave woman, and you're just trying your damnedest to fight your way through history and save the world from this threat that's been looming there all along. And your choices matter. Like you can, there's a depending on what you do, the protagonist, the main character, might die. And depending on what you do after that, you can go back and try to save him, or you can just press on, leaving him dead. Depending on stuff you do in the past, the future could be full of lizard people. I mean, there's a whole bunch of just choices that you make throughout the game that can have wide-ranging and just unexpected consequences. And I forget how many endings there are to this thing, but it is just a game you can sink yourself into, experiment, see if maybe what if I do this playthrough and see how it changes, the way the story unfolds. And it's just incredibly well written, incredibly well designed, great graphics, and fun combat. And it is a game that hasn't ever really been matched in terms of handling that kind of time travel, that kind of wide-ranging, overarching vision of what a time travel plot can be. Fantastic game, and widely regarded as a classic.
When you said Nintendo game on your list, I think Cody probably also assumed that you were going to say a game by the company Nintendo, But I do appreciate. I was like, oh man, he's not even just doing that. He's like all Nintendo systems.
Yep. Yes, and originally on the Super Nintendo, it got releases on other things after that, but yeah. So that is my
Great
one
choice,
nod.
though.
Thank
Great
you.
choice, though.
Yeah, fantastic game.
Never been remade or remastered, I see, huh?
It's been re-released, but yeah, it's pretty much just a
Interesting.
faithful one-to-one. Yeah, which is
They
wild.
did. There's one that adds like an extra dungeon and an extra
Oh,
boss. It's supposed to
okay.
tie it to Chrono Cross, but everybody I know who loves Chrono Trigger hates Chrono Cross,
Hmm.
so they just pretend it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Huh.
Joe.
Oh, is it my turn now? Are you nerds done talking?
If you want it to be.
No, we'll keep going.
No,
Well,
all right.
not with that attitude.
My number 9 is my current wallpaper. And it is, as Dave rightly identified earlier, a little game called Kentucky Route Zero.
Hell yeah.
Um, this is not so much a video game as it is an experience.
Kentucky often is.
It is, I guess, technically a point and click adventure, but there really aren't any puzzles to solve. There is really no action in the game. It is, I would say, entirely story based, but even more than that, it is like mood and vibes based. The only real interaction in the game involves like dialogue with other characters, and you can choose dialogue options. Whether your dialogue choices actually affect any outcomes is a question mark, but I think it's more an attempt to get you to ponder some questions about life. This is a very kind of surreal and cerebral game. It seems to be kind of about mortality and what is the meaning of life. It explores themes including capitalism and wage slavery. It's a very dark game at times, both visually and thematically, but it is also full of hope. Um, it's one of the most unique games I've ever played in my life. It is one that like haunts me. I find myself randomly thinking about moments and scenes from this game, even though my Steam library tells me it's been almost 3 years since I last played it, which feels kind of appropriate with relation to my feelings about the game because I last played this game apparently a little over a month before I had brain surgery. So my mortality was very much on my mind at the time that I played it. Anyway, it's an incredible experience. You can get it pretty cheap on Steam. I think it actually has been ported to consoles as well. Kentucky Route Zero. Check it out. Dave, you're muted. I don't know if you intend to be.
Nope, I did not. So thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Yeah, in like late junior high, early high school, I went over to a friend's house for a sleepover, and he had a PlayStation, which I had never played before. And he was playing, he was about a third of the way through a game called Final Fantasy VII. And I had literally never played an RPG before. I hinted in the last episode that we would get to my first RPG, and so this blew my mind. And I
You
spent
bastard.
it was an all-nighter just watching my friend play this game and being absolutely blown away. Starting from like a third of the way through, it was just an incredible experience. And then, a few months later, I got my own PlayStation on my own copy of the game and played the hell out of it. And so, Dan, I'm not sure why you thought that I would like resent the game being on your list because it's even higher on my list. I love Final Fantasy VII. I think it's phenomenal.
You
I
motherfucker. You constantly talk about Final Fantasy VIII. And
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. But I love Final Fantasy VII. Like I said, it was really my first RPG. And I know, Matt, you think that I'm off by one. and that
We'll get
Final
there.
Fantasy 6. We'll get there. Absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
fuck it. Let's throw it out now.
No, I'm sure. We'll have to wait till the top 5 episode to get to Final Fantasy 6 for Matt. Anyway, I love Final Fantasy 7. I played a bit of the remake. I kind of want to wait for like the whole damn thing to be out before I really dive in. Even though I know that'll be like 300 hours of gameplay. But I just have very, very fond memories of the original 7, and yeah, that's it.
Final
remake,
Fantasy
I have
Mystic
thoughts.
Quest. Let's go.
I played the hell out of Mystic Quest. All right.
Coming at my number 9, I have one of the other older games on my list, and this one is going to be Shining Force 2.
Ooh.
Which Shining Force 2 and its predecessor are in my head virtually like neck and neck for me and my love for them. Like I would absolutely have both of them on my list, except that I made the decision early on to limit myself to one game per series just because I really wanted to highlight more games in total, rather than fill my list up with like 3 franchises. Uh but I give the edge slightly to Shining Force 2, because it was bigger, had more polish, more characters. Um, but really everything I'm going to say is going to apply to both games. And they kind of inhabit kind of the same space as a game I mentioned on last episode, which is Phantasy Star 2, which really in my early teen years like really opened my eyes to RPGs. I think Phantasy Star 2 actually was the first RPG I ever played. And Shining Force is a strategy like tactical RPG, very similar to a Fire Emblem in gameplay. The artwork is great, the sprite work, the characters were awesome. I really loved how kind of unique they all felt, and charismatic and lovable, despite not having any voice acting in the early 90s. The characters still felt like they all had their own personalities, and you really came to care about them. And like you always had your favorites that you had on the team, like and part of that was like every time you played, it was kind of like a new story, really, because you'd have characters, they get random stat upgrades. So like you'd have a game where like one character would be like this huge powerhouse, and you'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah. He's like just demolishing everything on the battlefield. And the next time you play, like they wouldn't get the RNG, and like someone else would be like your powerhouse. And so like it always kind of felt like a little different, slightly different story each time you played through it. But yeah, one thing I discovered actually in looking up this is the Shining series actually has over 30 official titles, with the most recent release being as recent as in 2019, which is interesting. But this is definitely, like, as I say, it's one of the oldest games on my list, but there's something about it, like I don't think I'll ever outgrow this game. Like there's qualities about this game that, despite it being so old, like I don't think it's a game that like you go back and play it and be like, oh, that doesn't play very well anymore. I think it'd play like exactly how I remember it, like forever. So I would happily go and pick this up and play it today.
I would kill for Sega to like revisit this series in its original like format. The turn-based strategy RPG.
The newer games apparently are a very different format from what I've seen.
Yeah, because I also have a great love for the Shining Force games.
And if you want a Shiner Force, I got nothing. Okay. We're moving on to number 8. Matt, up first.
All right, so I sent my brother my list earlier tonight.
Uh-oh.
Well, because we're talking about he agrees with me on the text games that they should all be one, by the way. Anyway, but he looked at my list and he's like, "You have that one, but not the first one?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean, this game, I remember from my childhood waiting to have a copy of it and play it, like rivaled the wait for Silk Song. Like that's how I remember how long this wait was. It wasn't quite that long, but it's Zelda 2. And yeah, my brother was like, "Not Zelda 1." I'm like, "No, Zelda 2 has more meaning to me." And don't get me wrong, I love Zelda 1 and it's kind of represented later, but Zelda 2 just had a, like, I don't know. I think it's a truly underappreciated game. Plus someone said Metroidvanias is my thing. It's kind of a proto Metroidvania. There's certainly elements of it in it. I don't know. I befriended a kid in my class who has since become one of my best friends throughout life, uh, literally because he told me he had this game and I didn't know it was out yet. I still feel a little guilty about that, by the way. I'm like, hey, you got to come over tonight. I was in the fourth grade, but yeah, Zelda 2.
Positive I have beat Zelda 2. I'm less positive I have beat Zelda 1. I think I have, but I don't have a clear memory of that. 2, though, yes. All right. Wow, look what we're up to on my list here for number 8. What if I told you my number 8 game was called by Eurogamer the finest example ever made of a truly traditional Japanese RPG?
I wouldn't believe you.
Well, they
I'd
did.
start looking for the alien seed pod.
And what if I said that another website said its distinct battle system story and visual representation allowed it to stand on equal footing with even the most recent Final Fantasy games that just came out? Well, that would also have been said about my number 8 game, which is Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube.
Hmm.
Still my favorite RPG, and since I basically hate RPGs at this point, it probably will always remain my highest RPG, or JRPG at least specifically, although this is, I guess, technically reclassified as an action RPG. It was so much fun to play. You could play this multiplayer. Like if several of us lived closer together, I would replay this game in a heartbeat with 3 other people and just play through this. It has real-time combat for an RPG, which was so fun to like see everybody running around the battlefield, like waiting for your spell to recharge and using your sword or your axe in the meantime. Somebody focused on healing. The combos in this game were fantastic. There were Lloyd, Colette, Genis, Rain, Kratos, Sheena, Zelos, Presea, and Regal. There's 9 characters, and each pair came up with its own combo move, and then each triple came up with its own combo move, and each quad came up with its own combo move as well. Fantastic. It's got a
I like
wonderful
Quambo. That's good.
Quambo.
Quambo, yeah.
A little bit of that for, but yeah,
We
Quambo
all quamboed in college, right?
kind of works, right? Yeah. Super fun though, just the way this played. The story was wacky, and every time you thought it would be an ending, oh no, there's dozens of hours yet with this new twist to the story as well. Interestingly about this game, I was looking it up a little bit here. This came out on the GameCube. It came out later on PS2, PS3, Steam, and they made a remaster for the Nintendo Switch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different iterations of this same game, and it's almost universally hailed that none of the 4 newer versions are as good as the GameCube in terms of frame rate,
Huh,
which is
Wow.
wild.
that is.
Yeah,
Audio
what
and
the
frame
hell?
rate both, they said, are the best still on the GameCube version. So this is Tales
Huh.
of Symphonia. It's fantastic. There it is. I don't know how I ever found that game. I swear I just picked it up, left like a bargain bin or something at some store, but man, struck gold. And another of my GameCube games, if you recall me saying in the prior podcast, the vaunted GameCube 7. Here we go.
Many
That's
more left.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the list so far.
3 left. Oh my God.
If they all made it. If they all made it.
If. Big if. All right. Moving on to my number 8. Talking about a game here that as soon as I utter the title, I hope you all hear its main theme song, Hell March. This is Command and Conquer: Red Alert. Set in an alternative timeline where Einstein creates time travel, goes back in time, and literally removes Adolf Hitler from the timeline. Fast forward to where the United States and the Allies are fighting off against Russia in this weird, semi-futuristic war in terms of a real-time strategy. This thing, it looked great coming out, and then it fulfilled every kind of fantasy and dream I had for what this series could be, taking the Command and Conquer formula and just upping it times 1,000. It has been called out as one of the best RTSs that's ever been created. It made a huge impact on my life. I don't know how many fucking hours I played of this thing, but really, really great in the RTS genre. The Command and Conquer: Red Alert.
Dan, I spent many
Nice.
hours playing Command and Conquer
Fuck yes.
64.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Didn't expect that, did you?
No, I did not.
Actually, from you, yeah, I kind of did.
Fair.
Aren't you going to tell me you played StarCraft on 64?
Boy, I did not, but I can tell you a mouse would have helped though.
That was the first game 64 cartridge with FMVs put into the game.
Oh, cool.
Well, my number 8 is sadly still the most recent entry in a series that has been dormant for far too long enough that it's actually become a meme like 10 years ago, and the meme is still ongoing.
Star Tropics.
No, all I'm going to say to introduce it is simply rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Half-Life 2 is an incredible game. Just in terms of like the physics puzzles that they put in, the fact that large chunks of the game are just breakneck chase sequences, others are stealth sequences. There's the whole Ravenholm thing where it turns into survival horror for a bit. And it is just one hell of an adrenaline rush from beginning to end, especially if you've got the complete version with episode 1, episode 2. Half-Life 2 is amazing. I probably haven't played it in 15 years. I should change that because I have such fond memories of this, like scraping by that final battle by the skin of my teeth and never getting a resolution to it because Half-Life 3 is never going to be confirmed. But what we got is just one of the best first-person shooters ever made. If somehow you haven't played Half-Life 2 in the 22 years since it originally came out, what are you waiting for? It is an incredible experience that is very hard to beat. So
Half-Life 2 just be life, like mathematically? How are we? I don't know. I don't know.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Nerd.
good.
I never thought of it that way. I like
Yeah, they can't make a third one.
I agree with everything Justin said. For the record, Half-Life 2 is an incredible game.
You're up, tie-dye.
My number 8 game is, I think, the second most recently released game on my list. The most recent game on my list, I believe, would have been Silksong. Anyway, my number 8 is Dave the Diver.
Yes, I guessed it.
I don't know why I love this game so much, you guys, but I just do. It is.
Because it's got my name in it. You love me.
I mean, that's a big part of it. I want to dive on some Dave if you don't.
If you want to dive on some Dave, him.
It's like a cozy game, but occasionally terrifying because sometimes the creatures you encounter are a little bit scary and can be difficult to fight. But for the most part, you're just kind of catching fish and making sushi and like doing some light farming. It's the visuals it's got this great like pixelated like 16-bit-ish maybe art style. It's got a good soundtrack. It has a charming cast of characters. Between the base game and the recently released DLC, it literally contains like every genre of game I can possibly think of. There's all kinds of random mini games, and like sometimes it just decides that it wants to like be a turn-based RPG. Sometimes it wants to be a side scroller. It just like tries everything you can imagine, and somehow it all kind of works. It's just a lot of fun. It's a delightful experience. Dave the Diver, dive in, everyone.
Dive right in. All right, my number 8 is a game called Into the Breach. Now, in the last episode, I talked about Slay the Spire and all the games that it inspired, pun intended. And Into the Breach is another game where it's turn-based, it's a roguelike, and much like Slay the Spire, the enemy every single turn tells you what they're going to do. So it's a puzzle to figure out every single time. But this is a series of 8x8 tactical maps where you have mechs, you're up against aliens that are invading, you have to protect cities, and each map has its own little mission for you to fulfill, objective for you to fulfill. But the enemy tells you exactly what they're going to do, and then you have to figure out with your three mechs and three moves how you're going to counter it this move. Then they act, and then you go again. It's so strategic, it's so fun, and there's so much to unlock. Across the course of the game, you unlock new squads, and every run you get different powers. So you never really know what you're gonna come up against, what kind of powers you're gonna have, different pilots for the mechs. It's a really great game. It's available on PC. It's on Switch. It's on. I think you can play it on iPhone with Netflix. Oh, I'm talking to the wrong group for iPhone here, but a Netflix subscription. I think you play it on mobile. I think probably Android too. But it's called Into the Breach. It's a really really fun game. They also released an expansion for it like 5 years after the game came out. They just like for free were like, oh, here's a bunch of extra content that we kind of drummed up, which was really fucking cool of them. It's just a super fun game. I love it.
Yes.
Sounds cool. All right, number 8 for me has been mentioned by Justin recently on last episode. It is Diablo 2. I still remember like the first time I saw the first Diablo being played. It was actually my uncle playing. We went over to my cousin's house and like he was sitting there playing it while we had the kids and I were were all playing doing other stuff, and it's like, what is that? It was like it was dark and it was like kind of scary, and it was unlike anything I'd seen to that point. And while I really loved that first game, Diablo, D2 was definitely the better game in every way. And the one I played the most. I really enjoyed the dungeon crawling and just waves and waves of enemies, just fighting those off. And um, you know, I think it was probably the first game also that I played with that had randomized loot. So like any moment you might find some incredible new weapon or a piece of armor. And that feeling of seeing just a rare item drop was just such a great feeling. It's just like, oh, this is gonna be it. It's gonna be great. And like that just kept coming back for more and more and more. I really connected with the dark fantasy setting as well. It was just really intriguing with that, and the music was amazing. The Tristram Village theme like still plays in my head. And I think, as Justin said before, like a lot of character class options and weapon types to make multiple playthroughs, feel fresh. You could even like try different builds in the same run, like, and that was fun too. And yeah, I have no idea how many hours I sunk in this game, but there was a point where it was like a daily play, like for most of my time at college, as I remember. That and alongside one other game, which will be coming up soon.
Nice.
Okay, number 7s are up next.
All right,
Matt?
seven got me back into video games actually. Probably was back. I think it was during the 2009-2010 year.
Oh.
It was the year I was on tour in West Virginia, and I just saw something about this, or watched people play it, or heard people talk about it, or something. It was about 5 years old at the time, so I loaded it up. I was just like trying to look for something to do because I didn't really have anybody I was hanging out with because I was on tour in West Virginia. Anyway, it's Cave Story. And for some reason this game just like sucked me right in, and I spent like
right
the next few like
Right,
hours
pause.
and days and yeah. So I don't know how much time I sunk into that, and I still have never gotten the best ending. I've just watched it on YouTube because I'm like, okay, because I can't do that. But has an interesting multiple endings thing going on with this one. But yeah, they remade it on everything, but I played it on the original PC version. So
Matt, I kind of forgot that game existed until you mentioned it, but I liked that game a lot. So thank you for reminding me of that.
no problem.
Okay, for me, number 7 gets a little distinction here. Yes, it's another GameCube entry. However, it is my first series to appear twice. Is it my only? We will see. This is going to be Mario Kart Double Dash at number 7 for me.
Wow.
Yet another multiplayer game with just too many memories to recall with so many people I've played this with. And it's interesting too, like now that Mario Kart has gone through so many more games since this, all the things they've tried with like gravity and gliders and trucks and water and motorcycles. This one probably is now the oddest entry where you had the two drivers on the cart. You could switch between the two drivers, front, back. I think both had unique items still in this game, if I recall. So really like picking your combo and then it was like a race to see what characters everybody else would take. So you're essentially choosing 4 characters. Not in this one, you're choosing 8. So that was kind of fun to go through. Great courses in this one as well. Baby Park, Donkey Kong Mountain, Sherbert Land, Wario Coliseum, and there were some other great ones. Possibly maybe my joking, but also maybe not joking favorite memory of this game is actually not with any of my friends per se, but for whatever reason we had like a free day at my school where I did my student teaching, and I was back like subbing for a week at the end of the year, and they were just like, "This is a free day, like just fucking babysit him for whatever." And I was like, "Okay, great. I'm gonna bring in my GameCube, guys, and we're gonna play Mario Kart." And they were like, "Oh yeah." There was a kid in the class who talked so much shit about how good he was at this Mario Kart game that the class was like, "You got to play him just like one on one." I was like, "Okay." And I forget how he did it, but somehow like somebody started to talk to me to distract me, and he like picked up his controller and started going. And we were playing Baby Park, and he had over a lap done before I picked up my controller. And I came back and beat that bastard because
Nice.
Baby
Fuck
Park had
yes.
7 laps, if you recall, and I beat him. And man, the way the class like crushed that poor kid after I beat him, still a cherished memory of mine. So Mario Kart Double Dash, my number 7.
That's not fair.
Incredible.
I don't have any memories of crushing kids in any games.
Should have been a teacher, man.
All right. Well, my number 7 is Brett. Earlier you were talking about doing a little bit of Call of Duty. This one's Call of Duty adjacent. It's a different title, but very similar gameplay in terms of your first person shooter, very futuristic. Except you've got a little jetpack on your back, so you can do all kinds of parkour, like wall runs, super slides. And as you fight in this map of about a dozen other human players, as well as a whole bunch of NPC like squads of total douchebags that you can take out really easily and kind of work up points on your way to doing your ultimate move, where you get to call in this giant robot called a Titan, and that event is called a Titanfall, and that is the essence or that's the name of the game. So Titanfall, specifically Titanfall 2, because that had the multiplayer and the single player. Titanfall 1 was only multiplayer, which was an odd choice. Titanfall 2 had this great story mode where you got like a whole bunch of interesting challenges to do, this whole world, in addition to one of the most insane multiplayer games I've ever played, where super elite people are fucking doing laps around you, and then all of a sudden then get this giant skyscraper-sized mech that comes down out of the sky, and suddenly it's a dramatically different game where you're trying to like stealth around this mech, get on top, and like pull some batteries out to lower their health. In terms of like an asymmetric game, where at any moment someone's Titan comes down and all of a sudden all the rules fucking change on you. I haven't experienced that since, and it has been really, really fantastic. Love that world. In fact, I still have the physical poster sitting up right here behind me because it's so fucking great. I desperately want there to be another Titanfall game. The Battle Royale Apex Legends is actually based on the same engine and a lot of the same guns and a lot of the same kind of world, but it is not Titanfall 3. I am salivating for Titanfall 3. Maybe one day I'll get my dream.
If you don't want to let your Titan fall, you should try him.
If you want your wife salivating, try him.
All right. My number 7 is the oldest game I have left on my list, from 1992. This is Star Control 2: The Urquan Masters.
What the
fuck?
You can say that again.
It's a sequel to kind of a bare bones like space combat game that was the first one, but this one is like an entire galaxy full of different I think there's like two dozen different like alien species in this, and it is kind of Mass Effect 2 before the Mass Effect series before Mass Effect, where you start off as just like a scrappy bunch of humans who are escaping from essentially slavery from these creatures called the Urquan, which have taken over a large chunk of the galaxy. It's basically join us or die kind of a thing. So you manage to like scrape together your crew on a ship and get out to try to assemble anyone else who's left who's still free to try to fight back against these things. And it is legitimately like an entire galaxy full of planets and aliens and whatnot. And there's a time limit. So you can try to, take it slow, but eventually the Urquan are just going to take over more and more and more of the galaxy around you. So you have to hurry, but also try to like make sure that no one is looking to just try to take them on alone because they're going to die. And so it's all about building a coalition and and going to sometimes extreme means to try to mount a resistance. Everything from like genetic engineering involving like forbidden science to try to create better beings that can resist these things. To at one point, I remember trying to convince a race of like uber religious bird people not to go off and try to like take on the Urquan by themselves by saying that we consulted a mystical artifact, the Ouija board, and it says that this is an inauspicious time to mount an assault, and just trying desperately to keep this weird quirky race of cartoonish bird people alive. And it's very replayable because you can and will mess up the first few times you try it, but it's very deep. It's very fun. There's real-time space combat, and a very organic feeling strategic element as you're trying desperately to keep the universe free. Just fantastic game for its time, and I think it's available on Steam. I would be surprised if it's not. But yeah, Star Control 2, the Urquan Masters, fantastic game. And I would say the best in the series of what I've played, at least. Yeah, you can pick up Star Control 1 and 2 on Steam for like $4 right now. So no reason not to. They're excellent games.
Go do it.
What about Star Control 3, the Urkel Masturbators?
I was going to say my next game is Star Control 1, the Urquan Journeyman.
Urkel Masturbators. Did I do that?
Whose joke was better? Hit us in the comments. Let us
No one's listening to this, Dave. The only person listening to this is Emily after you died. Sorry.
Oh. Oh.
It's true. I'm not even going to listen to this one in the shower.
It's the only place you can.
Anyway, my number 7 is a little game called Fallout: New Vegas.
Fuck yeah. My
Dan
favorite
is so
Fallout
disappointed. It is everyone's favorite Fallout game.
It's the best
Not mine.
It's the best Fallout. It's because you haven't played it, Cody.
That's true.
No. As long as it's Fallout, it doesn't matter.
As Cody would probably know it, the main inspiration for season 2 of the Fallout TV series.
Boo! I didn't even buy the Caesar Funko Pop at Target today. Boo!
I think you mean Kaiser.
Kaiser.
You didn't buy some Macaulay Culkin Funko Pop?
Anyway, Fallout New Vegas is just like a batshit crazy, amazing game. There are just so many weird, interesting characters. You have to basically choose to side with one of multiple just weird factions in a battle over Hoover Dam. Whoever controls Hoover Dam controls the source of power and therefore basically controls New Vegas. As I mentioned a little earlier, I love the Bethesda style RPGs, even though this one was made by Obsidian, not Bethesda. I actually just saw that Obsidian is apparently working on a new Fallout game officially. So that's pretty exciting. Dave said this is his favorite Fallout game. It is a lot of people's favorite Fallout game. Yeah, it's just a hell of a good time.
like it.
Awesome. All right, Joe,
Good
I
choice.
approve of your number 7, and I think you'll approve of my number 7, although you're probably telling me that it should be higher. My number 7 is a little game called Portal 2,
What?
which I know Joe loves as well. This
I,
game
I
is
approve.
okay. I appreciate that. It's top 10. That's it's
Yes.
worthy of that for sure. Portal 2 is incredible. A lot of my favorite puzzle games have like great aha moments, and the Portal games just are full of those. Like every single level has excellent aha moments when you figure out what you're supposed to do, and then you try it out and it works, and you just feel great. And then Portal 2 just had incredible atmosphere. Maybe the best story out of any game on my list. I'd have to look through and think about that.
It is pretty great.
But it's super fun. And then there's one aha moment in the very final battle that is just absolutely mind blowing. And I still think about and love so much. And when you do it, it pops a trophy. When I play on the PlayStation 3, it popped a trophy that is something like, yes, that just happened, or something like that. Which was just fantastic. So I really love Portal 2, and I recommend anyone play both Portal 1 and 2, but 2 is definitely the superior experience.
But the
I
cake
might
is a
agree.
lie.
So, it's my turn to bend the rules just a little bit.
You
this is
son of a bitch.
nearly impossible for me to separate these games in my head, and I'm talking about the Uncharted series. There are 4 mainline games in this, and all of them are equally great in both quality and enjoyment. And because it's a continuous story, it's basically all one game in 4 parts. But for my official pick here, I'm going with Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. As being last in the series, it just tied a lot of things together. It really had a lot of nostalgia and emotion wrapped around it. But as I said, like all 4 games are basically equal in my mind. This is when I would have all 4 of these games on my list. If
If I was going to pull Hudson, I probably would have had the franchise somewhere on my list, but I had a hard time picking one. But I love that series as well.
Yeah.
Brett, did you play? Wasn't there a spin-off game with 2 female protagonists?
Yes.
Was that one worthy of the series in your opinion? Or
I
is that
thought
kind
so.
of
I've seen some of it played. It looks very good, but I haven't personally played it. So
okay?
I thought it was great, and I did think it was worthy of the series.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
But the Uncharted games are really like a highly cinematic action adventure style game. The general vibe is basically like kind of somewhere right between Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider. The characters are amazing and lovable, like literally some of the best characters in gaming that I can think of. And really brought to life by incredible voice acting throughout the series. It really is. These games are like movies. But it like really amazing cutscenes, like fast-paced action, the shootouts. There's like some awesome chase sequences, and being a like treasure hunting adventure. There's like lots of really cool puzzles and like these like ancient like temples and things that like often are like really really cool puzzles and like very fun to solve. The gunplay was really good, ducking in on a cover and things like that. And just all around, I don't know that I would be able to come up with anything negative to say about these games. So, the fact that there are still 6 more things on my list after this is kind of wild. But Uncharted 4, I love it. I would go and buy these, but they actually aren't available, like because they were a PlayStation exclusive. Like you can't get them on Steam or other places yet, which sucks balls. But I would love to buy these and play them again.
Well, you can watch the movie on your PC, and that's just as
No,
good.
what the fuck did you do? No, rude.
Ha ha ha! I also heard the joke.
Brett was saying that the movie Uncharted is better than the games.
I did say that. Yeah,
I don't think
superior.
that's true.
All right, our last one for this podcast again, number 6, before we
Uh,
get to our top 5.
okay, my number 6, last one for tonight, actually goes by two titles, a different one in the US and a different one in Japan. Different series is completely.
Bukaki
Um,
Seppuku and Seppuku Bukaki.
So glad we didn't miss that reference this episode.
no, the actual it's a Game Boy game by
Whoa.
Square called the original Japanese title is Saga 1, whereas it because no one in the US would have known what Saga was, not that anyone in Japan knew what Saga was before they released this game.
What is Saga?
When they released it in the US, they called it Final Fantasy Legend. Um, so that like people like child me said, "Hey, there's a Final Fantasy game for the Game Boy now." And yes, that was Saga. Nice. I thought that the G was uppercase.
No, this is a comic book series that Dana introduced me to. That's
that.
excellent.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm distracting away from what you're saying. Sorry. Go ahead.
But that comic series does also have its own Funko Pop line, so.
Sure as fuck does.
anyway, so yeah. To describe the game very briefly, there's not one big overworld. There's several little overworlds and a tower going up. The idea is you're supposed to climb to the top of the tower and you get your wish come true or whatever. But you have to stop at each of the main four worlds and do some shit there before you can continue going up the tower. Basically, you get to the top of the tower, and granted, this is going to be spoilers, but the game came out, when I was like 9, so
Aerith died again?
no.
Spoilers.
Basically, you get to the top and you meet God, and he's like, "Okay, you beat my game, so what do you want?" And your character's like, "What the hell? This is just a game to you," and so you decide to murder God. And I don't know.
Ichi was right.
It's a great game. It's a great game. Yeah.
I
The
think
sequel-
that's the ending to 9 as well. I'm not joking. Like, I think you defeat the god of that world at the end of that game.
Also, the ending to most Shin Megami Tensei games.
So there is a sequel, Saga 2, and a third one actually, but I've never played the third one. The second one is very similar, where it's a bunch of little worlds that you go through, and it's probably the better game. But the first one is very special to me, so I like the first one better.
That's awesome.
Thanks for spoiling like 10 games there, guys. Really appreciate that little 10-second rapid fire we had. That was fun. Okay, my last game for this podcast comes in with my 11th system of the countdown, and
Oh,
it
God.
is my final appearance in any way, shape, or form by a little guy known as Mario. This is my highest rated Mario game, Super Mario Odyssey for Nintendo Switch, which I do believe is the pinnacle of Mario gameplay. If you're a 2D Mario person, I could see your arguments as this is not the best game, but I think I prefer the 3 to the 2D ever since Mario 64. So it's just fantastic. This game is like every idea they ever had in Mario dialed up to 11. And the stages are wonderful. The variety of gameplay is fantastic. The graphics are like super colorful, bright and bubbly, all the way up to like that weirdly hyper realistic dragon in that one stage. Like they go kind of through the gamut. The dinosaurs are pretty cool. The challenges were really fun in this one. Lots of secrets to find as well. Cappy was such a cool extension of Mario in this game, of like just using that little spin attack or different ways to use the hat to take over stuff. And it was like the natural evolution of all of the suits Mario has had for the past 30 years. Like it took all that and improved it somehow, which was awesome. Super cool stages, as mentioned, just like running around New Donk City was pretty fun. The last stage where you're like doing all the weird pipe shit, and then like they have like the orchestra playing, and is it Paulina that's singing at the end? Like that was a fucking awesome moment
Yeah.
too. So cool. This is also a great one because like my kids have memories of me playing this one and them trying a little bit too. So for the family, this is a cool one as well. So that is my last one for tonight and my highest property that Mario will appear on. are in on my list. So Super Mario Odyssey, number 6.
Seems
Good
very
pick.
fitting. Yeah. All right, my number 6 is described as an artillery tactical video game, also described as a cross between cannon fodder and lemmings. This is by a British company called Team 17. It's a little game that has inspired 20-some versions throughout its history. It is called Worms. If the quick description is that you have a small team of heavily armed worms that you are fighting another team of heavily armed worms. You are having weapons ranging from bazookas to hand grenades to holy hand grenades to air strikes, depending on what version you're working on. But it was one of the first games in terms of like you might ruin a friendship with this. It was a kind of a hot seat game where you could actually play both players on like one keyboard if that's what you're running on the PC. This like the hours I sunk into this and the obscenities that were screamed after playing rounds of this game, simple in premise but deep in terms of strategy and replayability. Worms stands out as like, holy shit, what a small thing that created a lot of experience.
Was there a certain one in the series that was like that was your one?
I think Worms 2.
I feel like that's the one I played the most as well.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the list right now.
Worms
That's a
Armageddon,
great pick.
bro.
Oh,
Worms World Party
Armageddon
was my
great.
go-to.
I really considered Nuclear War or Tank Wars very similar to Worms.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
A predecessor. It just it put a cartoony Disney-like spin on those.
Yeah.
Anyone ever play Scorched Earth? That's like a
Yes,
tank
that's
version of the
the other.
game.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I just remembered that. Okay,
Mhm.
sick.
Yeah. I think I said I said Nuclear War and Tank Wars. I think I was describing the same game there. Scorched Earth was the other one I was trying to think of.
Awesome. Good pick,
Nice.
Dan. I like it.
All right. Let's see. My last one for the night. I mentioned it in passing when I talked about Star Control 2. My number 6 is Mass Effect 2, where just I love this game for a lot of reasons. The galactic politics, the memorable characters, the fun combat and gameplay and all that, but also for a kind of an outside the box reason. When I bought this, the first game, I've still never played the first game because originally that only came out on Xbox. And I didn't have an Xbox, but everyone kept saying this series is incredible, and the second one had just come out, and it had such positive reviews and word of mouth. I decided, fine, I'm not going to know what's going on, but I'll give it a try because everyone seems to love it. And the game designers seem to realize that could be a thing. So I bought this on PS3, loaded it up, and apparently at the end of the first game, your character gets very gravely injured to the point where he has to be like reconstructed by this fringe military group and whatnot. And it lets you play through the entire game as an amnesiac, which I did, and I still enjoyed the hell out of it because once you wake up, they introduce themselves. They're like, all right, I know, that they're agents of something called Cerberus, and there's like, okay, Commander Shepard, we know we've had some issues in the past, but we're hoping that we can work together for the good of humanity and the good of the galaxy. And you can just start off with being like, who are you? And and you can just go with a blank slate and still have a very fulfilling experience. And the writers of this game accounted for that, and that is above and beyond, and it was fantastic. One of these days I'll go back and play the original and like see how the full story arc comes together. But even just going in blind and learning about the universe for the first time when it's in the middle of a war against these godlike mechanical beings that are just trying to wipe sentient life out of the galaxy, learning about that as I went in the second installment worked far better than it ever should have, and it is just one of the most memorable sci-fi universes I've experienced in a game, and just one of the best sci-fi RPGs I've ever played. Mass Effect 2 is fantastic. So that's it. That's my number 6.
Choice.
My
Awesome.
my number 6 is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I
You
like
know,
it. I like it.
Cody already talked about Mario Kart Double Dash. I actually never owned a GameCube. But to me, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is kind of just the ultimate distillation of the Mario Kart franchise. I
Sure.
mean, it has like so many tracks from previous games. It feels like it is kind of all of Mario Kart in one. But more importantly than that, it is also one of very few video games that I can and have played with my wife because she was not really a big gamer growing up and she likes games, but she has a hard time with, a lot of modern controls. So, Mario Kart is a game that she, played when she was younger, and Mario Kart 8 seems to work for her. So it is one of the games I've probably played the most just because I've played a lot of it with her. And yeah, it's 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 fun doing stuff with your spouse.
It
Yeah,
is.
absolutely. That's a big plus
Good
for a
pick.
lot of games, for sure. All right, my number.
And after your death, that is where she'll be crying when she's going down the list.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry, Joe. When you go, we'll play Mario Kart with your wife.
Blue Shell?
If you want to play Mario Kart with my wife, visit our sponsor Hims.
Uh,
All right, my number 6 game is one that's already been discussed, so I'm going to keep this pretty short. It's The Witness. I love The Witness. It's incredible. It has the replayability and the zenness of Monsters Expedition, which I started this episode with. It also has, if I'm talking about aha moments, which I'm not done talking about, we'll hear more in the top 5, but the single greatest aha moment of any game I've ever experienced is in The Witness. Like it doesn't have a mass quantity of them, but the one is the best one I've ever had in my entire gaming history. So I love The Witness. I've played the hell out of it. I continue to replay it often. And I think I probably will for my whole life because it's a super fun game. That's it.
I should probably revisit that game. I spent like an hour with it, but then never went back to it.
I think you should. I think you'd like it. It's chill and it's you can either like allow yourself to kind of be in its silent world because there's no music in almost the entire game. There's very little like sound to it, or you can put on like an album you like and just kind of chill to that while you walk around an island solving puzzles.
Somehow that game is still $40 on Steam, so I don't know about that.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that
For a
doesn't
10-year-old
make sense,
game,
but
it's crazy.
it's like
especially if
Nintendo
you like
pricing.
Braid, Joe. If you like Braid, you should definitely
I
do it. And then
know.
I think there's a third Jonathan Blow game.
Yeah,
coming
which I
out
heard is
on the
great.
horizon. I don't think it's out yet, right?
I think it's maybe an early access or something.
Okay. As a console gamer, I sometimes have to wait until things get ported from PC over to console. So
I
that
think
might be
maybe
the
it's
case
just,
here.
I think I heard on a podcast like people that have like played an early version of it that said it's amazing.
There's a demo. It's called Order of the Sinking Star,
Yeah.
apparently.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Jonathan Blow and David Cage are the two people who like I think are terrible human beings, but I fucking love their games. So
All right. Coming in at number 6, here's another game, another series. I should say that where the games are all kind of the same, but so it was a little hard time picking a particular one. This is Civilization, and for me, I'm going with Civilization 5 specifically. As I think it's the one that I have the most hours in.
Interesting.
So that's kind of my driving motivation there. But as a series, absolutely one of my favorites. Again, I've already talked about this in previous games that like the starting from nothing and like building something huge, in this case, in the whole civilization and empire, and all the strategy that goes along with that, and like the uncertainty of the early game, like, are you gonna find a great spot for your city, or you got to scope out like who's your neighbors, and like, are you gonna find the resources that you need, and all that stuff that's like different every single time you play it. And like there's a real sense of accomplishment when you like complete buildings and trade routes and get things set up and you start to get some wonders and just seeing everything grow was always a great time. Um, I don't have a great way to accurately estimate this because a lot of my time was on Civ 4, which I don't have that. I had that on physical discs. I don't have that in my Steam library. I don't know how many hours I had, but uh, also because I played all the games previously except for 7, and those were on consoles and stuff. So I'm just roughly guessing here 5,000 hours in
Holy
Civilization as a
oh,
series.
still.
That is
Wow.
What the fuck?
208 days.
Are you okay?
This is the other game I mentioned before when I was just like
Blink twice if you need help.
late night at college. I'd just be like, I should go to sleep. Now let's play Civilization for an hour or two. And like every night.
No
play
one
all
plays
day.
Civilization for an hour or two.
Right? Lies I
And-
tell myself.
Yeah. And like, I don't really think there's really any explanation after that, after saying those numbers, why I have this at 6 for me. But it's just like it's that game that like every time like you need to stop, you need to go to bed. There's like always time for just one more round.
That's
If you want to always have time for just one more round.
yes.
Stuck the landing.
That's like 4,616 more hours than we have hours of this podcast. That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Holy
when we get to
Lord.
my number one pick, I've played it for a lot of hours, but it pales in comparison.
Yeah,
to
no
the numbers
doubt.
I just rattled off. Holy
Holy
shit.
piss.
Well, like I know for a fact I have 2,000 in Civ 5 alone, and I have like 800 in Civ 6, and like beyond that, I'm just guessing. But I know like Civ 4, I had a shitload of time.
How the
so.
fuck do you have a job and a family and 5 games ranked higher than this? I don't understand.
Wow.
All right.
That is bonktastic. All right. Holy fuck. All right. Well, that is going to draw us to an end here, I believe, with our number 6 game. We got our top 5 games to come later this summer. Pretty exciting stuff.
Wait.
I do have
And
to
if you
ask.
want to come,
You're right, because I made the comment earlier. Is there anyone besides me who actually does not have their top 5 fully ranked out yet, or am I the only person?
I literally re-ranked things at the top of this episode, but I think I'm set now.
You're madmen.
I have locked in my number 5 since we've been recording, but the top 4 are still floating all over the place up there.
I was editing as we were recording.
I'm just gonna have to lie about one of these and say I played it for 6,000 hours. So
There you go.
there it is.
Ah,
Oh my God. All right, well, that's going to do us here with our 4th edition, almost to the end of our Sizzlin Summer Spectacular, counting down our favorite video games of all time. These have been some really fun talks with the hosts, and we rarely ever get this many hosts together at once, so this has been pretty awesome. All right, well, I guess that's going to do us for this time. We'll be back later this summer with our top 5. So companies out there, feel free to send money our way if you want your game to be in the top 5.
Or
Raid
your
Shadow
hymns.
Legends.
Yes.
We've been sponsoring the fuck out of hymns. this
My
whole
votes are for
series.
sale. So if anybody out there wants your game promoted, just my votes are for sale. Okay, sounds good. This is Cody. That's been Matt, Justin, Dan, Joe, Dave, and Brett over there. This is the Fun Pod Friends occasionally not disagreeing.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
So good.
Bye.
All right.